Happy Devils Saturday and happy Canada Day again. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report on a late night edition. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. In the bunker. And at another place. That's your cue, Shorts Guy. At another place. From the highest point of the highest mountains. Somewhere in beautiful New Jersey. Looking down. It's our good friend, Shorts Guy. Coming on to the Woo Report to talk Devils hockey on a late Saturday night, July 1st. As the Devils made some smaller moves today, as expected, when Tommy Fitzgerald, Devils GM, decided to make all the big and most important moves last week, finalizing deals with Jesper Bratt and Timo Meyer, some movement of Mackenzie Blackwood to San Jose, amongst others. But today, I think the biggest news today, which we did the breaking news, or I did the breaking news before, was the signing of Nathan Bastian and Michael McLeod. But then the Devils made a trade to the Stars for a 2025 fifth-round pick going to the Stars, and defenseman Colin Miller coming back to the New Jersey Devils. Shorts Guy, what are your thoughts on bringing this D guy in New Jersey?
I'm assuming it's D depth. First off, Sam, good to see you. Good to be on the Woo Report. A rare appearance for me on the Woo Report. But yeah, looking at what we have on D, and who we're kind of hoping and projecting to come up this coming season, trading for a defenseman seemed like a depth move, but it also kind of confused me at the same time. Not quite sure, why we were going to bring a defenseman in, but Fitzgerald saw something in this guy, Colin Miller, and I got to assume that it's going to fit in somewhere here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not, let's put it this way. You need a serviceable defenseman. It brings depth because, remember, you're hedging your bets on two rookies potentially next season with Nemitz and Hughes in the lineup. Injuries do happen. The only depth you really have outside of Colin Miller right now is Brendan Smith. So you'd have to think with Riley Walsh traded, Damon Severson traded, and now Ryan Graves signing with the Pittsburgh Penguins on actually a pretty good deal. I mean, if the Devils signed him at that rate, I would have been cool with it. The only problem is there's not many spots here and now in the future.
Yeah, I know. I was really hoping that we would find a way to bring Graves back. I thought he did very well for us, and did what we needed him to do. And I thought he could have been a really good piece defensively moving forward. But, I guess Fitzgerald saw other and felt like it was time to move on from him. And Pittsburgh snapped him up. And I will say this, after hanging out with him all day, little Steve is pretty pleased with him being a Pittsburgh Penguin now. With Ryan Graves being on the Penguins, Steven's very happy with him, happy with the deal. Billy Dean says that the Devils have screwed up, but he's also a Ranger fan, so what does he know?
I'm sorry, I was just reading the Facebook. I'm sorry, the YouTube Live and the Facebook messages. What did you ask, Shorts Guy?
I didn't ask anything.
Sorry.
I said little Steve was happy with Ryan Graves as a Penguin, and Billy Dean said that the Devils screwed up by letting him go. But I said Billy Dean is also a Ranger fan, so what does he know?
Oh, okay. What does he know?
Yes, it was a rhetorical question.
I thought it was like, what does he know about?
No, it was rhetorical.
All right.
It was rhetorical.
All right. This is what happens when you get shout-outs on the YouTube Live from Lewis. Shout out to me and company from Virginia. And then also, Peter says no more Scotty Gravy train outbursts. Yeah, I mean, things happen when players change teams. I mean, I thought Andreas Janssen going would be terrible, but we replaced him with John Marino on the football calls on Devil's
That's
After Dark.
correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. You did.
So you replace one great player with another. We're going to be about all going crazy with Luke Hughes, I'm assuming, next season. But all seriousness, Colin Miller, right-handed shot, has a decent shot from the point. He's not going to be physical at all, but I think he could skate with the most of what the league can offer in terms of speed. I think he can keep up. So I'm okay with this. They're not paying too much in salary at all, and I think this is exactly what the Devils need more than this is just not a really sexy headliner. However, around the league, if you think about it, there aren't that many because of the salary cap situation.
No, there really aren't. There's the UFA class was a little bit light for today's start to free agency, so there was really no big moves. And if I'm not mistaken, Bertuzzi is still unsigned, so he's one of the bigger fish in the pond. It's still going unsigned as of right now. We saw a lot of moves today, but nothing was really a groundbreaking move. Nothing was really crazy. And the UFA market for goaltenders especially was very light. And, there really wasn't a ton out there and available. And we still have Tatar is still available. And we have not yet. And it looks like we're probably moving on from him unless they bring him back on a smaller deal. I mean, he's still available. And you still have, it's just day one is what I should say. Day one, he's still available. And there are a couple guys still available that are around the league. And I'm sure Fitzgerald will start filling in. We've got, I think you and I were talking earlier, $5.6 million in cap space as of right now. So that leaves us with some, a little bit of room to still further improve this team.
Yeah, and with Michael McLeod and Nathan Bastian signing their minuscule
those
deals,
were good.
They were great for the. I mean, it was team first. I think they just want to be here, and
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Fitzgerald will offer that to Ryan Graves and the Tatar and the rest that were going, but. For some, it's just sometimes the situation doesn't really work out for where they are in their career, and that's fine. There's nothing personal against Ryan Graves. I thought he did a terrific job in the last couple of years, so that's good. He didn't leave on a bad note. Tatar, he's probably good as gone in terms of. Sharon Govich, we got Toffoli out of that deal, which is a big deal. So it's not just signings, it's trades. And I think the Devils really made their big splash before today to get all the important items out of the way, essentially.
Yeah, they didn't let them linger into the summer. They got it done. They got the work done. They got the deals in. At a relatively good rate for both the team and the player. So everyone should be happy and should be able to go into training camp without any issues. And that's really what you want. You want your whole team there at training camp. You want them there. You want them there happy as well so that they can focus on one thing, and that's preparing for the upcoming season, because that's the ultimate goal, is to win throughout the season. And Fitzgerald is looking at things too in a sort of a forward way. I mean, our other signings that we had towards the end of the day, all three are on league minimum contracts, and they're two-way, so they're probably going to be more depth for the AHL. I think they're all making whatever that is, $775,000, something like that, whatever that league minimum is. Mm-hmm. So these guys are coming in, and we're not paying them a ton of money. So it's Fitzgerald, like you said, getting the job done early. And, we don't have to linger on. And now we just kind of wait. We may be surprised with $5.6 million in space. who we could potentially bring in further in the summer. I mean, it could be a Tatar coming back on a maybe a smaller term deal, maybe a 1 year, 2 year deal with this
Tatar's
space now
getting
that
married. He needs the money for that wedding. Which, by the way, I'll extend this to Tomas Tatar that for your wedding, if you ever need a podcast, a live podcast for your cocktail hour, we are available for hire. I try to pitch that to Matt, our new good friend Matt that we met at Enzo's, because he's getting married, in a couple months or in about a month. And I offered it, and it was a no-go because he liked to stay married. Yeah, you don't want us to crash anybody's wedding. But
no,
hey,
no.
big shout out to Lewis in the YouTube Live. Says, appreciate the coverage, Sam. Military moves me all over the world, but you keep us connected on all Devils news. Thank you, Lewis, and Short Sky and on behalf of the Let's Go Devils podcast, thank you for your service to our country. Yeah, absolutely. And as Felix echoes that sentiment. Now, Craig Best in the Facebook Live says, thank you, Fleece Master. That's the first there used to be, I guess still a DJ, Funk Master Flex. I'm going to call Tommy Fitz.
I was thinking the same.
Fleece Master Flex.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we'll have to get Matt, our new friend, to do some kind of rap routine or something like that, of Tommy Fitz, Anyway, and Michael Hay also saying that Miles Wood signed a 6-year deal with Colorado.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for Miles Wood.
Yeah, give some stability. 2 years, 6 years at what was it, $2.5 million a year? That's some good money for Miles Wood to get. Good for him. Good luck to him. He was obviously. But then again, if you think about it, at that rate, we could have kept him for $2.5 million. So maybe the term just wasn't there that we wanted to give. But good for Miles Wood. Thank you for what he did for the Devils, and best of luck in Colorado. Denver's a beautiful town. I've been there at least once, so good for him.
John S., I was about to say that. He says, Fleece Master Fitz. I'll have to go back to the old Hot 97, if it's on YouTube.
Flex stuff.
Yeah, it's like, I remember it's like Funk Master Flex. Go Flex! Go Flex! We'll have to do something with Tom Fitzgerald, with the sunglasses, the black sunglasses,
Mm-hmm.
with the cigar, hanging out. We're going to have to do some memes. I know Beer Baron doesn't do memes, but we'll do some memes.
We can do memes.
Yeah, we can do memes. We got all summer.
Yeah.
Douglas Walker saying that Vitek and Holtz to Winnipeg for a hellebuck in the final year of his deal with the 4-year, 6.5 extension going forward. He is going to be 31 at the start. Well, you know what? Sorokin just signed that 8-year deal.
How old's Sorokin? I don't even know.
I don't know. Signing for 8.5 AAV, I believe. 8 years.
It was 8.5. That's the type of money that if Sorokin got that, that's the type of money that that Hellebuck's going to want, if not a little bit more, because he keeps asking for Vasi money.
Yeah.
For his age, that's the tough sell for me with his age. He's going to be he's 30 now. He's going to be 31. Like, man, that's a long. If he wants term, Sorokin is 27. So Sorokin's 27. So they signed him for he's there for another 9 years. So that means they have Sorokin signed to another DiPietro style contract. He's going to be 36 at the end of that contract.
Well, I know a certain goaltender about to turn 41. That's a school teacher that I wouldn't mind having on the roster
Hey,
for
I was
salary
available
cap purposes.
I was available all day at league minimum, and my phone did not ring once.
I'm gonna
I
have
was
to
gonna.
send.
I
I'm gonna
was
have to send video to
seriously.
Fleece Master Fitz. Maybe we could fleece the Fleece Gerald.
I was. I was potentially awaiting calls to help out our good buddies Schwim and Steve. I was willing to take league minimum contracts or below league minimum contracts for either Tampa or Pittsburgh, if need be, to help both of their teams.
Yeah, or you can work under the table too. That always works.
I could work under the table. It wouldn't be a cap hit for anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I would take a job with our New Jersey Devils, but we have we have some pretty good goaltending already. It's Tampa that needed a backup, and Pittsburgh needed anything.
Morgan Williams asked, "What kind of term price do we want to see with Ball? Ball get 3 years at 1.3? I'm assuming 1.3 AAV.
Yeah,
Seem reasonable? I think that's a reasonable offer.
I think that would be reasonable.
I think that's reasonable because he gets a chance to prove himself. He's not going to be, Ball. I thought had a good second half of the season last season.
Yeah, and he still has to prove himself, so that's definitely one thing. And it's one of those things where what you just kind of proposed as a contract would be a good way for him to prove that what he did can be consistent, and he can build on it and earn himself a better contract later on down the line. So yeah, that's 1.3 seems reasonable at 3 years. It fits in our cap space with the 5.6 remaining. I like it. Yeah, I definitely like that idea.
Arnina says, according to the Athletic, the Avs signing of Miles Wood is one of the 5 worst signings of the day. I don't really think so. I don't think it's that bad.
Because we know what he's capable of. He's one of those guys that if you weren't a Devils fan, you probably didn't really know who Miles Wood was. And we saw what he could do, and he was up and down. That's the thing.
Well, think of, I'm telling you, I bet you it was really a marketing signing. Mile High, Miles Wood. They're gonna play on that.
I'm sure they
and
could.
If he does well, great. But you know what? Not our problem, folks. Not our problem.
Yep.
He just wants to get a paycheck. I'm happy for Miles. I'm very happy for Miles.
Yeah, it's a bummer that some of these players have to leave, but that's the nature of the business. And if they would rather go chase some money, that's their prerogative, and they can go. No hard feelings if you don't want to be here. But
the only one that left, Graves, that's the one that kind of stings. Little fire boy, big Gravy fan.
Yeah.
That kind of stings just because I really like Graves. I like the size. I would want him to be a little bit more physical, but I think he did okay. I think he did okay. But you know what? Tom Fitzgerald wants a blue line that's going to be exceptional at this point. Losing Damon Severson, losing Ryan Graves, but you're replacing them, and hopefully in 3 years we're going to see the fruits of having a second overall and a fourth overall.
Yeah.
As a dynamic dual pairing for the next 15 to 20 years in New Jersey. That makes me forget about everybody.
Yeah, I really would have loved to have seen Graves stay for another 2-3 years, but it was, looking for term, it looks like. And Pittsburgh gave it to him. And yeah, little Fireboy, he's become a really good, not just fan of the podcast, but a good friend as well. And it would have been great to have Gravy here. And I was really thinking that he would want to stay somewhere where he has a very good chance of winning the Cup after watching all of his buddies in Colorado win it the year after he leaves there.
Yeah.
So that really gave me the the kind of the thought process going, all right, well, maybe he'll find a way to work it out and stay where he can potentially win soon. But that wasn't to be. It looks like it's not that it looks like that wasn't to be at all. Now he's a Pittsburgh Penguin, so he moves on.
Lewis asks, can we win it all the way with Schmidt and Vanacek? I think so. Sam and Shorts have been preaching it all through the playoffs. You know what? Let's put it this way. All it takes is one injury. You're kind of screwed. I think you're kind of screwed. I think Schmidt's the guy. I think it should be like, 55, 25, splitting the duties. But honestly, Hellebuck puts you in that Stanley Cup contention talk. On paper, at least.
Yeah. On paper, he does.
But
I would agree.
You also have two rookie defensemen.
Not rookie.
Yeah. Two rookie defensemen. You may need that Hellebuck to kind of bail them out at times just to weather the growing pains. That's the only reason why I would entertain Hellebuck. It would probably take an Alexander Holtz. It probably would take a Vanacek to go the other way. I'll tell you, if you have Hellebuck and Schmid as your tandem, I'd be all for it. That's an upgrade. A tremendous upgrade.
I'd say that's an upgrade, but then the downside is Schmid does not get the game time that he needs in order to grow into the position as well. So
that is true.
We would be hedging our bets on winning with Hellebuck and potentially stunting the growth of Schmid. Not that I would be against having Hellebuck on this team. There's a lot of stuff going on now.
I wonder what Marty Brodeur's thinking right now. And the goalie.
That's a good question.
I want to know what Marty Brodeur's thinking because that's a tough one. I mean, what if we are all wrong about Schmid and it was just a 1-year wonder?
That's always the other side of the coin. Is goalies can have a very good season and then they just can't replicate it sometimes. We had this discussion on Hockey on Tap about how you don't see a ton of goalies that are kind of showstoppers like we used to. And we were talking about it in the context of how there are very few goalies in the Hall of Fame versus forwards and defensemen. And trying to come up with who would be
considered past Hockey Hall of Fame inductees.
Well, that's what got us onto the discussion, because when you look at the stats of the, aside from Lundqvist, when you look at Mike Vernon and Tom Barrasso's stats, they're not really all that great. Makes you wonder why they're in.
Cups.
But that's another argument for another day. But yeah, it's one of those things where it could be Schmid, could be it. I mean, you look at what's his name from Chicago, and I can't remember his name. Starts
Corey
with an
Crawford?
N. Not Corey Crawford.
Niemi?
Niemi, yes. I don't know why I have trouble remembering that. No, did great, and went to the Sharks. Kind of got lost after winning the Cup there.
Jordan Binnington?
Binnington looked fantastic, won the Cup, and then has looked like probably what Jordan Binnington really should be since then.
Tristan Jarry?
So,
Matt Murray?
I had to laugh when that, and I felt bad for laughing because Steve was there, but when they announced that Jarry contract, I was like, what the hell?
Darcy Kemper, it's just...
Yeah, Kemper's another one.
Again, and you know what? I've been saying this for years, and it was Brian Burke on NHL Network that was saying that it's been proven now that you don't need a number one goalie to win the Cup.
No.
You just need a hot goalie.
You just need someone that plays well in a tournament.
Yeah.
You just need to get to the playoffs, and then once you're in the playoff, it's generally a tournament, and you just got to have a goalie that can play well and get you 16 wins, and that's really what you need.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Hey, but we got John Marino. We've got Dougie Hamilton. We've got
We do.
Siegenthaler, Luke Hughes, possibly Nemitz, Ball, now Colin Miller, Brendan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not looking bad. Now, there were a couple other smaller signings. I don't want to get too much into details because, to be honest with you, we don't really know much about them other than there's one of the players that was signed is actually a Jersey kid. I forgot which one was.
Yeah, that was news to me because I saw these names come across, and I was like, it was one of those things.
They're very like Bobby Farnham,
Yeah.
I'll have to see it.
Yeah.
I have to see them in action before I can comment. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're, like I said, all league minimum. So they're two-way contracts, league minimums. They're going to be playing for us, potentially, playing for Utica, potentially.
They got some, some of the best seats on the bus in Utica that they're going to have. But who knows? If there's injuries that happen and you need a center,
I was just going to bring that up. You said it earlier. It's like sometimes, you're one injury away from a disaster, and you bring these depth guys in for just this purpose.
Yeah. So, but hey, you know what? I was hoping there was something big, because we're kind of used to that the last few years with the Devils. Something big, it started off with Dougie Hamilton signing, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then it just started to snowball. It started from 2020, that draft, and then it just started to snowball a little bit, with some of these free agents signing with New Jersey, and then last season the Goudreau spurn, and then the Kachuk thing didn't work out, but you had Palat. Yeah, you got John Marino. I mean, you basically flipped Ty Smith for John Marino, and John Marino right now is one of my favorite players. I may have to get a Devils football helmet with John Marino.
You might have to.
Yeah.
You might have to, Sam.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I may have to do that. Max is asking if Mark Scheifele is available. I don't think he's available. Maybe
I didn't see his name today.
No, but he could be available to the right team.
As a trade?
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't know.
Anything's possible right now. Because a lot of teams are struggling with the cap. They're trying to rebuild.
Especially when you have Fleece Gerald as your GM. Anything's possible at this point.
Shorts guy, our summer project should be to find a fleece, and send our GM Tom Fitzgerald a brand new fleece blanket, fleece jacket, something like that.
Finding the fleece is not a problem. It's getting it done up.
Yeah, and then Fleece Master, have it just like Fleece Master fits, and have his face with sunglasses, a cigar in his mouth, as the logo.
Can be done.
Ripping off one NHL team after another.
It can be done.
Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you, Shorts guy.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I think we're going to get out of here. Just remember to keep it here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. I mean, tomorrow I've got to go to Costco. So I'm hoping
big day
nothing.
For Sam.
Yeah, this is the only time I can sneak the snacks in the shopping cart. No one's going to notice, right? And maybe something will break. Keep it here. Set your alerts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Also follow us on Facebook. Hopefully the rate limit hasn't been exceeded. On Twitter, at Let's Go Devils Pod, and on Facebook, at Let's Go Devils Podcast. And keep it here and dropping the podcast at midnight for your morning jog for those that exercise. And, yeah.
There you go.
That's it. All right. I'm going to find the music.
All right.
Yeah.
Search away, Sam.
Do you like that music?
It was good. It was different. This first I heard it. It was good.
You mean you don't listen to the Woo Report?
I haven't had a chance in a little bit.
Or everybody likes this music. Where does Tom Fitzgerald strike next? He's also known as the Fleece Master Fitz, ripping off NHL teams around the league. He's looking for a goaltender. Will it be yours? And will you get nothing? Next on Unsolved Mysteries. Anyway, sorry. Anyway,
That's a good one.
always get distracted. Thank you, everybody.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Oh, Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
Or if there's breaking news, keep it here. Let's Go Devils podcast. Till next time, let's go Devils.